Backstage, under the glowing lights of yet another sold-out show, Elvis Presley was preparing for the spotlight. But that night, destiny placed someone else in front of him, a blind 6-year-old child, trembling with both excitement and fear. What happened in that small, quiet room would forever mark everyone who witnessed it. Elvis, the king of rock and roll, didn't just sing for the crowd. He gave this child something the boy would never forget, and something that left even his toughest bodyguards in tears. The energy backstage was as electric as the crowd outside. Fans screamed, lights buzzed, and stagehands rushed in every direction. Elvis had just come off a powerful soundcheck when his manager approached with unusual hesitation. "There's someone here to see you, Elvis," he said softly. At first, Elvis thought it was another VIP or a persistent reporter. But then he saw a small figure standing shyly behind, a 6-year-old boy holding tightly to his mother's hand. His eyes were closed, not from sleep, but from blindness. The boy clutched a small teddy bear, worn from years of comfort, and whispered something only Elvis could hear. "I can't see you, but I can hear your voice." Elvis froze. For a moment, the king who commanded thousands on stage was silent. He bent down to the boy's level, his famous jumpsuit glittering under the dim backstage lights. "Well, little man," Elvis said in his deep, warm voice, "then, tonight I'll make sure you hear me louder than anyone else ever has." The crew fell silent. It was rare to see Elvis so moved. He placed his hand gently on the boy's shoulder, and in that moment, the king wasn't a superstar. He was a man facing pure innocence. Elvis invited the boy to stay backstage, promising he'd make him part of the show. The child's mother, overwhelmed, could barely speak. "He listens to your records every night before bed," she finally managed. Elvis simply smiled, leaned closer to the boy, and whispered, "Then tonight you'll be closer to the music than you ever dreamed." That promise would set in motion one of the most unforgettable moments in Elvis Presley's career. Elvis didn't rush off to his dressing room as usual. Instead, he stayed with the boy, asking about his favorite songs. The child's small face lit up when he said, "Love Me Tender." Elvis chuckled softly. Of course, it had to be that one. Rather than preparing for the concert in silence, Elvis grabbed his guitar and sat cross-legged on the floor, right beside the boy. He began to strum gently, his voice filling the small backstage room. Everyone nearby, musicians, stagehands, even security guards, paused to listen. The boy reached out, his tiny fingers brushing the guitar's wooden frame as if trying to see through touch. Elvis guided the boy's hands across the strings. "This is what music feels like," he said. The child giggled, the vibration buzzing through his fingertips. His mother wiped tears from her eyes, whispering, "He's never touched a guitar before." For nearly 20 minutes, Elvis gave the boy his own private concert. But it wasn't about showing off. It was about connection. Elvis lowered his voice, making it softer, gentler, almost like a lullaby. For the boy, each note became a world of color and light that his eyes could never see. Before leaving for the stage, Elvis bent down again and whispered, "How about you sit close tonight, right at the side where you can hear me the best?" The boy nodded eagerly, unaware that Elvis was already planning something far bigger. The crowd roared as Elvis walked on stage, glittering in his white jumpsuit. But for the first time, his mind wasn't just on the thousands screaming his name. It was on the little boy sitting quietly at the edge of the stage. Halfway through the concert, Elvis stopped. He raised his hand, silencing the massive arena. Fans held their breath, wondering what was wrong. Then Elvis spoke into the microphone. "Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce someone very special tonight." Gasps filled the air as the spotlight swung toward the boy. The child flinched slightly at the sudden noise, but Elvis knelt down, lifting him gently onto the stage. The crowd erupted into applause, some already crying without even knowing why. Now, Elvis continued, "This young man can't see us, but he can hear us. So I want all of you to sing with me." The band started playing the opening chords of Love Me Tender. Elvis held the boy's small hand as he began to sing, his voice softer than usual, almost trembling with emotion. The audience joined in, thousands of voices surrounding the child in a wave of music. The boy's face tilted upward, smiling as if he could see everything. He wasn't just hearing Elvis. He was feeling the love of an entire arena. By the end of the song, grown men were wiping tears from their eyes. Elvis kissed the boy's forehead and whispered into the mic, "That's the true sound of love." It was no longer just a concert. It was history. After the show, word spread quickly. Newspapers picked up the story, fans told it to each other, and soon the tale became legend. Elvis had stopped an entire concert for one blind child. But for Elvis, it wasn't about publicity. Backstage, he hugged the boy tightly, whispering, "You reminded me what this is all about." He then took the boy's teddy bear and signed it, adding, "Now you've got a piece of me forever." The boy's mother later said he slept with that teddy bear every night until it fell apart. The music, the love, and the moment carried him through years of struggle. For him, Elvis wasn't just a singer, he was a friend who had given him sight to sound. As for Elvis, those close to him said he talked about that night for weeks. He felt it had been one of his most important performances, not because of the crowd size, but because of the depth of humanity it revealed. Years later, fans still speak of it as one of Elvis Presley's most unforgettable acts of kindness. The King had millions of fans, but that night proved he could make even one little boy feel like the center of the universe. Elvis didn't just sing songs, he gave his heart. The night he met a blind 6-year-old proved that his greatest gift wasn't his voice, but his humanity. Stories like this remind us that even legends live forever through kindness. Did this story touch your heart? Share your thoughts in the comments, and let's keep Elvis's spirit alive together.